The next shot is a tracking shot of the two girls walking through the woods. One girl is filming the woods and the other girl as they walk through. This bit is very vital as it shows them walking through scary woods alone where there is absolutely nobody else around. This is then followed by a shot of the girls filming of the other girl. I felt that this was a vital piece of filming as it shows the two girls having fun, but I used a filter over the top to make it seem far more eerie and jerky, which gives a sort of scary feel to the sequence. I felt that this would be a good shot to use as I did not want to use lots of shots of scary things throughout the whole film, and this would be something that the girls were doing together before all of the madness broke out. I used very sharp jerky movements with the camera to make it seem handheld. I used a tracking shot to follow the girl, and I used it as a medium shot. I also shot some of the sky and the trees around to show the surroundings and to show how scary the area was. This scene then jumps to a scene where one of the girls has been tied up in a shed. This is where we assume that this was the murderer who did this. I used a long shot so that I could get the whole feel of the area in and show that the shed is actually in a desolate area. The reason I chose to have her tied up in a shed is because I felt that this was a very good place for someone to hide a person. It's not in a house or a cellar where somebody is likely to find them. It's in a shed in the middle of nowhere. I decided that it would be a good idea if the door slammed in front of the girl. I felt that this gave it a far more scary effect, and it really showed the viewers how frightening the film would be. The reason I decided that this would be a good idea is because I felt that if I left the door open and nothing happened, it left little to the imagination. However, with the door slamming and nobody seeing who closes it, it leaves the viewer wondering who, or maybe what even, is actually going to murder the two young girls. This sequence is the third of the title sequences. This one says, "For the holiday of a lifetime." By this point, the viewers understand that this title sequence is slightly sarcastic. I felt that this title was good because it showed the viewers that this was a holiday that these two people would never forget, and not for a good reason. It helps to really show the viewers that this is a horror movie and really give it a far more creepy feel to it. It helps to add mystery to the storyline as it leaves the viewers wondering why this holiday is going to be so different from any other that they may have ever been on. The next sequence I used is a murder sequence. The first scene in this sequence is of one of the two young girls walking up towards her bedroom door. I shot this from a distance, and I saw the girl walk into the shot and walk away towards the door in the distance. My reasoning for this is because I felt that it gave a good tracking shot without too much movement of the camera. This built up suspense as we wondered why she was walking towards the door and what she was going to find when she did walk in. The next shot I used was when she walked in the room and saw her murderer. At this point, I decided it would be a good idea for the young girl to look shocked and scared. All of this time, it leaves the viewer wondering who or what the murderer is, but they never find out. I decided it was best not to show the killer in my filming. Originally, I had a shot of the killer, but I then decided that this shot perhaps wasn't the best idea as it left little to the imagination and left the film seeming far more comical rather than scary. It's a lot better for the viewers to see as little as possible rather than reveal all. This leaves a lot more to the imagination and leaves the viewers wondering who or what the murderer is and what they are going to do. This is the last in the 4 title sequences. The reason I added this one in was to break up the murder scene. This title sequence says "You will never forget." This not only adds to the eeriness of the trailer, but also helps to break up the murder scene. The reason I felt that this title sequence was needed was to really break up the murder scene, as it felt like the murder happened far too quickly and was a little confusing for the viewers. I wanted it to seem like there was a time break between the murder and when she walked into the bedroom. I feel that this title sequence has worked very well, not only in this instance but the whole way throughout the trailer. It has really helped to break up the trailer as well as to help the viewers to understand the storyline and to really get more involved. The final scene of my trailer is of one of the girls lying dead on the floor. You can just see that there is a knife coming out of her body as she lays there in a heap. I decided that it would be a good idea for the area around her to look messed up and untidy. This gives the idea that the young girl has had a struggle with her murderer before she's met her death. I chose to write the title of the film in this blood-like font. I chose to use this font as I felt that it really depicted the fact that it was a horror movie, and it also really helped to define the title and to be more recognisable to the viewers. Not only did I use this in my trailer, but I also used it on my poster and magazine. I then followed this with a title sequence saying "coming to a screen near you" and the date of the release. I felt that this was vital as the viewers would want to know when the film was coming out. I decided to use the same font for this as I did the title to really link it together. I also put the website address at the bottom of this so that the viewers could go on the internet and have a look at more about the film. The final scene are the credits, saying who helped produce the film, who were the main characters, and all of the key players within the film. I felt that this was vital as it is important that all key players are given credit, and this is always seen in any trailer that you see at the cinema or on the internet.